dead, Jim.
Fascinating.
He's dead, Jim.
Yeah. He's dead, Jim.
Up your shot.
There we go.
Up your shot.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, way! Whoop-a-dip, whippa-zambo, way! Welcome!
Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Trek in the Valley. This is the non-encyclopedic Star Trek The Original Series rewatch, recap, discussion podcast, where every week myself, Adam Ordall Quinnell, and my main man of a co-host...
Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Al Hirt. What up?
Mr. Al Hirt, and we get together just off Auto Row in the sunny San Fernando Valley in the real heart of Los Angeles County.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. We're up here in the valley. This is where they make Cobra Kai, and it's where we
Nice.
get together to talk about an episode of Star Trek The Original Series. We talk about what we talked about last week. We have fun talking about an episode for this week. We give a little rating. We recommend stuff to watch or listen to. It's a whole very casual thing.
Yeah, we just have our little takes on it, ratings, what have you, and yeah, we just recommend stuff at the end.
I did have a very nice fellow on Twitter tell me, he's probably listening right now, hey dude, who told me that he liked listening to this podcast because he always wanted to know the stories from the original series,
Right.
but it always seemed too cheesy for him to watch. And he's
hard
like,
to sit
but
through.
listening to you guys talk about them, that's good. And I was
perfect.
like, yeah, sweet. And
We'll
was,
take that.
yeah. So that's literally the purpose of this
What's
podcast.
up? Yeah. Casual listening, chilling.
Let's just
What up, listeners?
However, a little point of business for season 3. We have a brand new feature on the show that I love.
Oh, yeah.
When we eventually do Next Generation, I want to have theme music for the segments and
yeah.
stuff. I'm gonna have this thing fucking tricked out over here. But we ask Al, what do you remember about last week's episode? And this should be an easy one because we just recorded it.
Let me think. This was Plato's Stepchildren. I'm trying to figure out how to condense this story. The Paramount Plus review did it pretty well. It was douchebags that happen to be telepathic. And then the little guy gets bullied. Little guy gets angry. He's like, hey, I'm not going to take this. He almost kills the leader. And then, Kirk kind of does this mind telepathy, what is it, battle
Kirk
with the
gets
leader.
the powers.
Yeah, they get
They
the
get
powers.
the power from the water.
Oh, yeah, and then they also mentioned, too, my power is 200 times more powerful than yours.
I have twice the power as you, Param.
By the way, just want to clarify.
In case you were wondering who has twice as much power as you, it's me. And they never explain why. It's fucking hilarious.
But anyways, yeah, they get out of there. Param's like, we swear we won't kill other people. When you leave, we'll be good people. And Spock's like, that's bullshit. The Federation's going to come back.
Oh, the Federation's not going to come back, I don't think.
Oh, that's right.
They just
ban
said
off the area, don't they?
All Kirk says is, we're going to quarantine you. And if we find out you've got your fucking shenanigans again, I'm going to juice myself up with twice the power and come and I'm going to step on your fucking face after doing a Spanish dance.
Yeah, and that's not going to be telepathic. Mm-hmm. That's all free will.
Right?
Anyways, so then they fly out of there.
There you go.
Oh, and Scotty shakes on the ship for a little bit, and that's it.
There's a couple sequences of Scotty shaking on the ship and saying,
oh, God,
there's nothing we can do.
I blocked out it was very uncomfortable for about 9 minutes we combined, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of cringy
very
stuff.
Very skippable.
Of the captain and they're all compromised and made to smooch each other and dance all weird.
No, and also too the fact that the guest star was probably my favorite part of the whole episode.
Yes, dude who played Alexander.
Skip those parts, and you'll have a good time.
Yeah, he's
So, yeah.
really clearly like a classically trained actor. We didn't get into the
just
IMDb of
crushing.
it all, but just absolutely wrecked those lines. He was so good.
The scene stealer.
Barbara Boxer, not Barbara Boxer. I can't remember her name, but the lady who was on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, she was also really good.
Oh, yes.
But the guy who played Parham sucked and was not good.
It was
And-
a man for me.
So that was Plato's
Yes,
Stepchildren.
that was Plato's Stepchildren.
I gave it like just shy of a 3. You gave it a 3. We do the ratings at the end, but 3 is actually not terrible because, Balance of Terror is 5. And so anything is it's just orders of magnitude not as cool as Balance of Terror, basically.
Just reviewing it now, I'm going to rescind that. It's going to be a 2.5.
What?
was bad.
Man, what?
This is the first
This is the
rescind.
first time.
Yeah.
You heard it here, Mr. Al Hirt fucking
Taking it
changing his
back.
rating.
No, it wasn't that good. It's
wasn't
a hard
good.
pitch.
They make you watch 9 minutes of the captain having a dwarf ride on his
Just
back.
weird fetishes coming out from these
Ooh, it
weird
is.
writers.
Yes, yes.
And it's like, you write what you know. Just kidding.
Yeah. Hey, these were all of these people lived in Burbank, in the
Oh my God,
very
that's
valley
right.
where we are.
What? That's weird.
Yeah, Burbank's still the valley. So yeah, and
Anyways,
that was Plato's
But yes,
Stepchildren.
Plato's Stepchildren. Oh yeah, and then they drop off. They pick up the little guy and drop
they
him off.
take. I don't know if we call him the little guy.
Excuse
Yeah,
me.
I think we call him
The
Alexander.
little
Like, we know his
person.
name.
Alexander. Yes,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, we know his name.
It's Alexander. Your boy Alexander.
Called him little guy a couple times earlier, and I was like,
know.
I don't know if we, we're not, Anyway, that was Plato's Stepchildren. Al did not like it in hindsight. And that was season 3, episode 10 of Star Trek, the original series. And math would dictate that this week we would be talking about season 3, episode 11 of Star Trek, the original
Nice.
series. Can you believe it, folks?
Here we are.
And this week's episode is titled In the Wink of an Eye. In the wink of an eye. Isn't the phrase the blink of an eye? Am I being Mandela affected right
In a
now?
wink of an eye. When do you? I guess no, that doesn't come off as well as blink of an eye.
Plus, I feel
You say
like
blink,
winking.
wink.
I think winking. Like, I don't want to get into the science of this. I'm baked or whatever. I don't want to but I think winking is slower than blinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So like a wink of an eye, that's like the second fastest thing your eye. Yeah, you're timing it too. I was
Yeah.
doing the same thing.
You can definitely
when you
blink
wink,
faster
you can
than
definitely blink. So this
You heard it here, folks.
these aliens are not as fast as they say they're going to be. And this episode aired November 29th, 1968.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Just 100 fucking years ago. The world was so different, so many fewer shootings.
Yeah.
It was just a completely different time. So there's not as many bullets. Not as many bullets back then, I guess. And the synopsis for this episode from Paramount Plus. We should take a second to say these are the remastered editions. We've kind of gotten lazy on saying that. I used to have that in the intro.
Remastered.
These are the remastered edition that's available on Paramount Plus or wherever you illegally download stuff to your friend's media server in the Netherlands, like I do. And so the Paramount Plus synopsis is hyper-accelerated aliens, invisible to the naked eye, take over the ship.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. There's a lot of spoilers in the Paramount Plus synopses.
Pretty much the whole thing.
But that's pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I do like when the synopsis from Paramount Plus has like hyper accelerated aliens, invisible to the naked eye, take over the ship. I
Like
can't remember
another
parts
set
of speech.
hyper set of aliens.
More aliens who are dicks. You know,
yeah, but they're very overpowered.
They're OP as can be. BB. Scotty on the bridge again.
Yep.
Opens with Scotty on the bridge.
And I think it's the boys, Bones, Scotty, Bones, Spock, and Kirk, all
And
checking it out on
Compton.
planet. Oh yeah, Compton.
Bones,
Ya boy
Spock,
Compton.
Kirk, and Red Shirt Compton.
Yes,
and,
essential character here.
So here's what's going on. This is kind of tough to follow at
It's
first.
rushed too. Yeah,
It's well, just like last week's episode, they just start beaming down the planet, and
They
I'm
don't even
into
beam
that.
down.
They were already there.
yeah.
So-
We've seen the beam downs, Adam.
And can you? Why? Okay, so Al, this is another trivia question.
Yeah.
Can you imagine why they would be in this area of space on this planet? Can you guess? Could you possibly guess?
It was because of a distress
The
call.
distress call.
Oh yeah, that's right. Something happens with the
Fascinating.
something happens with the footage too, because what's going on is that Uhura's like, "Hey, you're at that spot, right?" And Kirk's like, "Yeah, we're right here. The coordinates are correct, right?" Uhura's like, "Yeah, the coordinates are correct." And he's like, I don't know, something's wrong with their camera because we're standing right here."
Yeah, so basically, Kirk and the
freaky.
guys are standing on this, what's called a beautiful planet. Scotty
it's
says-
gorgeous.
Scotty says, "We're responding to a distress call on a beautiful city." And so they're called Scolosians. So here's the thing. They've got Kirk on the view screen, and he's there with Compton, our new hero.
Yes.
And Spock and Bones. And then Uhura's looking at the distress call screen, and it is, like you said, it's the same place, but like Kirk and them can't see the aliens, and
It's weird.
it's not a recording. She's saying that it's
yeah.
live, which I don't know how they would do that with so there's
Yeah,
a lot
it's a
of
call.
holes. So there's a lot of inconsistencies in this episode in terms of like the power set of the aliens or whatever, and kind of how their super speed works, because they would have to have. Well, we'll get into it. So basically, Uhura is trying to figure this out. They're at the right coordinates. Bones is saying it's a barren world.
Yeah,
but,
there's no life signs.
But Kirk there's no life signs, and Kirk keeps hearing this bug.
And it's like, zzz.
They keeps hearing this bug, and there's no life. He said there are life forms that have no discernible form or pattern, right? And so they can sense that there's something there. And he said when we run analysis, we'll have some inherit an idea. And Kirk says, there's insects. You're not buzzing. And Bones says, there's nothing. It's not registering on my instruments. And Kirk goes, it's registering in my ears. It's like, it's just fucking chill, dude. It's a bug.
Yeah, he's like, well, it's right here.
So they're
And it's just
humanoid
really
in
awkward.
appearance. Like
Yeah.
Spock comes back having studied a few things, and he
He's
says,
like, hey, I've read their libraries. They got a bunch of books.
"Yeah, lots of books, humanoid in
culture.
appearance, sculptures. There's some
Culture,
places,
history.
some places look like they were just used. Other places are like they haven't been used in hundreds of years." And he keeps talking about there's an intermittent nature of the life, and there's no discernible form. There's no unusual and intermittent nature. They have no discernible form or location. That's important. The discernible location.
So they're like nomads, I guess,
Well, no, what he's saying is
they
like
have
they're
no-
like you can't detect them.
at all.
Yeah, it's not like they're like no discernible location like on a
Physically.
map.
Yeah, right.
This is like in
Like,
space.
In space. Weird.
Yeah. And then
Freaky.
Compton, I got something to say about this.
Yeah.
So Compton is putting away some samples, and then whoops, he disappears, right? There's like a whoosha effect, and he disappears.
Yes.
Now, this terrifies Bones.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. They do this all the time. People beam places.
Hmm.
They don't even say, did somebody maybe beam him somewhere? Right? Like, isn't
They
that weird?
always do a whole proper
they're
thing,
like,
though.
oh, what happened? You just disappeared? It's like, you disappear every time from the perspective of somebody in the transporter room. What the fuck? Like, it just shouldn't be the fucking mind melter it is.
Yeah, and Bones' eyes are wide open, just like, he was gone. I was looking right at him, and he just wasn't there.
It's almost as though he beamed. To be fair, Bones hates beaming.
Yeah.
So he would be kind of scared, I think.
They do a whole proper thing about it, though. They'd be like, hey, Scotty, 3 to beam up. Hey, 2 to beam up. 1 to beam up. I don't know,
I mean, I don't mean
every time.
I don't mean the Enterprise. I'm saying like some villainous alien beamed him. You know what I mean?
That's true. Just in general.
Yeah, somebody
haven't they
beamed
seen
him.
enough crazy shit?
Yeah, somebody else got a beamer.
Considering that he almost saw Kirk gets smashed on by Spock like maybe a week ago.
Right?
He's like, nah, this is where shit pops off. The disappearing.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, I know that this is where stories start. And look at that title card.
Yeah, the title card's pretty solid.
Oh,
it's nice.
The wink of an eye. Oh, the wink of an eye it is. And so beautiful remastered shot of the ship with an Earth-like planet in the background. In the fucking original series, there's probably no planet there. Yeah. Just a ship
just
in space. 1 star in the background. And so they're worried that they were having trouble briefly with the transporter controls. Ooh.
Oh, there we go. There's the sign of things to come. That'll be important later.
That will be important later. And then they are all kinds of shit starts bugging out on the ship. All sorts of systems. So Kirk's watching the Scalosian their distress call. And while they're watching the distress call, there's a bunch of goofy stuff happening. And basically what this Scalosian says is, we're from a city. There was once 900,000 of us. Now our number is 5.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't happen like God.
Overnight. Yeah, dang. That's like some hardcore eugenics, huh? Like the last people.
And Spock is saying it's we should it's probably a recorded message, and then she's saying, but if they were there, why did our sensors only pick up the landing party? A delayed taped message that would explain our continuing to receive it while sensors picked up on. I'm sorry, I got it. Yeah. I was confused. So basically, they're just like, we beamed down. There was nobody there. What were they like? Moving super fast?
No, they're just figuring out it's a recording.
Crewman Compton. They're not as worked up about Crewman Compton being gone.
I know, honestly, seriously. They probably think he beamed from board. No, they know he's gone, but they're just confused more than anything.
Nor is Crewman Compton. It would seem that some force or agent, only partially discernible to our instruments, may have been responsible. And then, Sulu, the controls are frozen. Oh my.
Yeah. And Kirk's asking Scotty to assist, and they're trying to twist some knobs.
They're all just standing around a console.
Just pressing some stuff.
Oh, and Bones is examining all the landing party to make sure they didn't have any problems with their bodies. And he makes Kirk leave the bridge, and then Spock's got the con. Like how Spock gets in the chair right away.
He's
you don't have to get in the chair. You could just stand. You could stay standing there.
He's like, sick.
And now, this is hilarious. Nurse Chapel says, Captain, there's something going on. Somebody had gone through all the medicine in the cabinets, and they picked them all up and put them all back, and there's nothing missing, but they examined everything. And here's what this reminded me of. There's this autobiography by this guy Augustin Burroughs. He wrote that book Running with Scissors, and his whole thing is like he went through rehab and he was drunk and on drugs, and then he became a writer, etc., right? And one of the one moment here. Oh yeah, so he said that one time he went to stay at a hotel, right? And this is when he had like just gotten sober, like he'd been sober for like a year or something. Yeah. And when he checked out of the hotel, he had like $1,000 of minibar charges on his card or on his charge. Yeah. And he said, "But wait, I'm sober. Like I didn't drink anything out of the I didn't take anything out of the minibar." And then she said, "Did you like take something out and then put it back?" And he's like, and then he tells this story about how he took every bottle out and like laid them all out, like, and had this weird psychosis about like his demons being in front of him and shit. And there's like sensors in the fridge that when you take something out, it charges your room. And it really reminded me of just that. Like she says, somebody took everything out. There's nothing missing, but it's just disordered. And then Bones
Just something that's been messed with?
whatever happened to Compton down there apparently had no effect on anyone else. And nobody's reporting anything unusual after beaming up.
Oh, yeah. And then suddenly, as Kirk is popping back up, on the gurney or whatever, I guess not gurney, what is that thing?
Examination
bed. Yeah.
Exam bed.
Kirk hears that little buzzing again, and he's like, hey, am I hallucinating? And Bones like, what are you talking about?
Bones says there's nothing physically wrong with you.
With me? Yeah, he goes, there's nothing physically wrong with you, but he's like, do you hear that noise? Am I hallucinating?
He asks, am I hallucinating a number of times, right?
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing. You're the only one that can answer that, bro. Like,
you know,
Al,
you dog.
Like, if you were to ask me, if you were to say, Adam, am I hallucinating? I would only be able to reply, I don't know. Are you?
Yeah, it's weird.
Am I hallucinating? Bones is like, I don't fucking know, dude.
He's not giving him the context.
There ain't flies on the Enterprise, bro.
He goes, oh my God, I brought something on with us.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's like.
But Bones says I'd say
happen
no
more often.
And this is another thing. Kirk says. Kirk says, am I hallucinating? And Bones says, I'd say no. And it's like, motherfucker just said he's hearing things. You're a bad doctor, Bones.
He's a terrible doctor.
This guy just said, I'm hearing things. Am I hallucinating? Bones says, I can't. Probably not. Probably not. Oh, and then they use the rad communicator on the wall. I love the communicator on the wall. I want to have a communicator like that, like with my cell phone connected to it as a Bluetooth, so I can like walk up to the wall and press a button to like send a call. I don't call anybody.
Yeah, it's hard.
I text. I don't call. I don't. And when somebody calls me, I'm like, well, I don't give a shit. So basically, Kirk says Kirk's worried that there's aliens on the ship.
Yeah, he's already warning his crew.
And he's telling everybody to get weapons. And then Spock says, I'm getting readings in life support. So
that's right.
So they're going, and this is all part of a long con by these aliens, right? So they can't get down into life support because there's a force field, and we see a red shirt get zapped.
Yeah, they both kind of get taken aback by the force field. And it's a cool effect when they're all trying to shoot it as well with their phasers.
And they do it. They shoot the force field, and then it goes away. And so but then they keep getting pushed around and shit. And it seems like Spock's like, they're only going to let 2 of us enter. So then they go into, even though it's been called life support numerous times, the sign says environmental engineering. It's like, say life support. And then they get to life support and there's a big old fucking, we don't know what it is in there. There's like a big device of alien origin hooked into the life support system.
It looks like an air conditioning unit.
What? It's got big fucking air conditioning tubes, and then there's a control unit, and of course when they go to disconnect it, they get zapped.
Yeah.
It looks like it's the hand equivalent of when you touch your tongue to a 9-volt. And then, this is real fucked up, they try to shoot it with their phasers, and their phasers get taken out of their hands, and then they get punched in the face by an invisible force.
What?
And when I say they, of course, I mean Kirk and Spock. They're the ones in environmental engineering, listening to the high-pitched buzzing going on.
Yeah,
so they can't touch the thing. They haven't seen any aliens. They've been punched by the aliens, and then we get a hilarious interaction with the computer. It feels like they don't do the computer enough. So on this Star Trek, they have a computer that can analyze massive amounts of data and then give them suggestions as to like what they're going to do next and analyze the situation. And they rarely do this, and it's really they should do it more often. But basically, Spock thinks that they should that whatever's happening, they want to show us strength and show us that there's nothing we can do. And then he says, computer, analyze and reply. Have we been invaded? And the computer's like, affirmative. And then Kirk's like, nature and description of enemy force, data insufficient. Number of enemy forces, data insufficient. Purpose of the invasion, immediate purpose, Caesar in control of Federation Starship Enterprise and crew. Oh, that's
it is
them.
Pretty convenient how it completely lays out the entire,
Yeah, data insufficient for determination and purpose.
And then he's asking about, Spock asks about Compton's disappearance, too.
And the things like insufficient information.
Yeah. Now, so Spock asks the computer, what would we do from this point? And the computer's like, if you're incapable of resisting or fighting back, I guess the better way is to just negotiate.
Negotiate for terms, and they all laugh.
Yeah.
They all laugh. Kirk says, we will not negotiate. Do you concur? And Scotty says, aye. It's like, why are you asking Scotty?
Yeah, seriously. He's the one that's blowing up his engines all the time.
How often have we seen them drinking paper cups of coffee on this show? Never, right?
Yeah, this is weird. So
a lady comes onto the bridge with 4 cups of coffee.
It's a late night shift.
Paper cups. They didn't have the little swizzling straw in them, but that they would. And so Kirk leans back. He's got this. Here's the high-pitched buzzing. And then you see his coffee bubbles.
Huh.
So he hears a high-pitched buzzing near him, right? And then his coffee bubbles as though somebody is bubbling it with a straw. Or they put
carbonating.
Or they put a drug in it that's going to make him go into the Speed Force.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, yeah, it's basically what it is, the Speed Force.
So Kirk drinks this coffee and immediately starts tripping, man.
Yeah.
Like he's watching
seconds.
Scotty, and Scotty's like going real slow, and Spock's going real slow, and Kirk is just fucking terrified, dude.
Whoa. What's clever about this, though, and throughout the episode, is that from his perspective now, everything is tilted through the camera. And when he gets back to sobriety or is off the drug or whatever, the camera lines up right.
Yeah, dude. They do a good job of showing Kirk's experience in the Speed Force. And Kirk doesn't know he's in the Speed Force yet.
Yeah, it's just like
Spoiler
everything's
alert.
just off.
Spoiler alert, it's a Speed Force. Kirk can't talk, and now they're not even moving anymore. He watched everybody slow down basically to a stop, and then kaboom, we get our beautiful co-star, or our beautiful guest star, Deela, played by Kathy Brown.
Shout outs to Kathy.
Yep, and now Deela immediately starts making out with Kirk. She's in love with him. And he says, "Who are you?" And she says, "Deela, the enemy." What?
Okay, then.
And then we have a commercial break, and somebody would try and sell you Tide, and probably the Tide Man. So basically, when they beamed up, she came up with them. It's a ridiculously long process, but she's taking care of it. Kirk is confused as to what's going on. And she says she keeps telling him there's nothing wrong with his crew. And he's like, but they're all frozen. And she said, it's you. There's nothing wrong with them. What? And she's like, what have you done? And she says, they've changed you. You are like me now. What? Your crew cannot see any of us because of the acceleration. Woo! Because they move in the wink of an eye. The title.
Ding, ding.
She just said the title. She's a guest star. Just said the title. Just like the last episode.
Yeah, doesn't get more on the nose than that.
I was literally touching my nose when you said on the nose. And so, basically, she's saying we're moving too fast for them to see. And I'm going to explain to you what's going on. And she just keeps kissing him. Yeah, she wants him to be her king. She's the queen of these people, we're going to find out. And so basically she says, we have had to make some changes to adjust it to us, the ship they're talking about. And she said, yes, of course, my chief scientist and his crew. I am their queen. You are going to be their king. Yeah, that sounds all right.
That's not a bad trade.
Yeah, so basically the crew doesn't know Kirk is gone yet. because their time hasn't caught up. And this is a big part of this episode,
Yeah,
right?
that's what's cool.
And so she says, they're just going to go on without you. And this lady is a fucking liar.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for
She's,
sure.
Kirk
seedy,
says,
very seedy.
Kirk says, they're going to find me. My crew will find me. And she said, no, they're not. They're going to go on without you.
They'll be fine.
They're going to look for you for a little while. They'll go on without you. You cannot go back to them ever.
Weird.
You cannot go back to them ever. And she says, is it so dreadful a prospect? I mean, look at me. I'm so fast. And of course, he can't use his phaser. He says that even the stun effects are unpleasant. She says, that's not going to work. It's too fucking slow. And then he shoots her with a hilariously slow laser beam.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He threatens her life with the
Here we
laser
go.
beam. And he's
Yeah,
like,
he puts
"Look,
it on stun.
I'm sorry, I know
and
this
it
is
just
gonna hurt,
she
but
just steps out of the way.
yeah, she gambles on it, though. He's like, hey, I know this is set to stun, but it's still going to hurt. And she's like, all right, bet. Point it at me. And I'll dodge it. I already know it. And it's cool how they do that really slow effect of that green light going across the screen.
Oh, shit.
No, you're good. We got it in post.
And I hope so. And then she pulls out her weapon that's up her sleeve, literally.
Oh, yeah.
She's got something up her sleeve. And she just points it at Kirk and presses a button, and then his phaser flies out of his hand.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
like
she also uses it later to give him a stomach ache and various things.
It's like an overall, all-in-one weapon.
And it's
telekinetic thing.
It's so funny because she's telling him they're just going to find that you're gone and they'll look for you and then they'll leave and it'll be all over and that's fine. And then he's like, yeah, but what have you done to the life support system? You hooked up a fucking air conditioner to it. And she's like, we had to make some changes to the ship to make it so that we could be on it. And then boom. And Deela talking to her earpiece. She says, he's coming your way to life support. And then boom, we cut to real time with Bill Maher. And it's Uhura and Sulu and Spock, and suddenly Kirk hath disappeared. He was there, and then he wasn't there. And then Spock picks up his coffee and looks at it. Oh, yeah, everything is tilty with Kirk. And then Kirk gets down to life support, and he sees Compton.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. Compton. He's fine. There's two red shirts frozen in motion.
And he's trying to get into this life support room. And
this is funny because Kirk is like, I'm ordering you. And Compton's like, I don't take orders from you anymore, man. And he goes, what? And he goes, yeah, I got a new boss. And he goes, you taking orders from Deela? And he's like, yeah, I mean, at first I refused. But then after a while, I found I couldn't help myself. I met this girl. She's one of them. I've never known anyone like her. And I showed him the operation of the ship. Bridge controls, life support.
Yeah, right.
She explained that they wanted to know. I didn't understand at first, but I do now.
Yeah, he's so
I
silly.
love that shit. And Kirk plays that card later. Kirk acts later like he's been Comptoned.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So he kicks Compton out of the way. He breaks in there, and this is where we meet Rael, played by Jason Evers. And Rael is the science officer. He zaps Kirk with their own stun thing. Compton comes in and attacks Rael out of loyalty to Kirk, I guess. And then somebody whacks Compton, right? And that's when Compton gets a little cut, right? And that is when we find out that when you're sped up like that, if you get a little cut, it compromises your whole body and you start to age. And at this point, Spock is now getting readings, kind of like what he got on the planet, from the coffee. And he's comparing Kirk's coffee to everyone else's. And there's one thing that's missing that's different in each coffee. And then he's going to analyze it. But by the time they analyze it, it'll be too late. And Spock says, I request that we... Oh, because before Kirk disappeared, he said, we just have to wait and let them make the next move. And then we'll react. And Spock says, we have to wait to, just like the captain said... we got to wait for them to make the next move, and it seems like they already have. Who says seems like they already have? Oh, yeah. Basically, they have to determine effective countermeasures, and then he puts Scotty in charge and heads down to the medical lab. Now, we get an exchange between Deela and Rael, where we find out that obviously Rael fucking loves Deela.
Yeah,
and
it's pretty obvious.
She doesn't really give a shit about him. She just keeps getting attached to all these slow-moving beings that they have to speed up and then apparently probably burn out, as we're going to find.
Yeah.
And this is where we get to Kirk saying, "What's up with that device that's on my ship?" And he points to the air conditioner. And he's like, "Deela will explain it." And she says, "I will explain it, and you'll approve of it." And basically what they're saying is they're just trying to impress upon Kirk that no matter how much you resist, you're eventually going to be like Compton and just be kind of cool with whatever we want you to do. Like, there's not really much of an explanation beyond that. And she's just like, eventually you're just going to be into it. And there you go. And you can study this thing if you want. Don't touch it. It'll shock you. Yeah. So let me see here. When do we get to, does he explain it? Oh, he grabs it and holds on to it.
And hold it.
And it shocks him and he has to get pulled off of it.
And that's how you get back to the doctor.
Oh, look at your hands. They're almost frozen, aren't they? The unit has its own self-defense mechanism, as you see. Oh, and these aliens, they have like, their communicator is a little brooch on their neck.
Yeah,
and they
right.
touch the petals of the brooch. And then basically, the cells. So in your struggle with Compton, some of the cells were damaged. And now Kirk goes over to Compton to see that he's all old and dead. Because apparently when your cells get damaged, as I said, it compromises the speedy serum in your blood. Kirk says, "He was so young. Is this what you have planned for us? We all die, even on Scalos." Scalos is the planet. And so basically, they made him think that he damaged Compton and killed him, but it was motherfucking Rail that did it. And so she keeps saying he's temporary. The species is capable of much affection. And she said, "Accept it. We've had to accept it all our lives. Don't make it worse. We need these temporary people." And I don't really understand this part of it. Because are they breeding with the temporary people? Like, he kisses her, and she just says, "Go back to work," instead of kissing him again. I fucking love it. So she's basically trying to convince Kirk that, she walks in on Kirk, and he's recording a data tape that's explaining everything.
Yeah.
And he's going to, and she's like, "You're never going to accomplish anything. It may be historically valuable, but hyperacceleration is the key." So basically she's watching him record a data tape that he wants Bones and Spock to listen to that explains what is going on. And he still doesn't really know their end game, right? But he explains he explains the device that they have. Oh, they did explain it. It's going to turn the ship into a gigantic deep freeze, which does not allow any physical contact. He says, "I don't know how to destroy it."
Big ice cube.
Yeah, they're going to freeze everybody on the ship because they want to preserve them so they can use them as they need. But I don't really understand it. My wife was watching this with me, and she's like, "Why don't they just leave some semen? Just give them semen." And she keeps telling him, "You're just going to be happy about it, like Compton was. You're very stubborn." She says, "A long time ago in our history, we used to be like you, and our country was almost destroyed by volcanic eruptions. The water was polluted. Radiation was released. That changed us. It accelerated us. So they're accelerated because of the radiation." And then she says, "The children died. Most of the women found out they could not have any more. All of the men became sterile. But accelerating to them to our level. Oh, so we had to mate outside our own people. Whenever a spaceship came by, we sent out calls to help. But accelerating them to our level burned them out." So that doesn't really explain, so where did they come from? Like, are they the children of accelerated people that had sex with a passing alien? Or did all the people they accelerated die before they could breed with them? And she's basically saying, "We'll be kind to you. We wouldn't hurt you. I do like you." And she just keeps telling him, "You're eventually just going to be totally chill with it. But you are going to burn out."
Yeah.
But there you go. And he keeps telling them, "The problem is you. Like, you can fix it. You can figure it out." And she said, "No, we can't. We just have to do what we always did." And he's basically saying, like, "Have you tried?" he's saying, have you fucking tried to like
Say something.
have you tried to figure out a cure for the radiation and slow your people down? Like, and he said, if you join the Federation, if you come into the Federation, we can have the most brilliant minds figure it out. And she says, we have tried. We've tried to make the transition to your level. Some of us, that is, those who made the attempt died. So there's no way to slow down, is what we're getting from this. And then, as they're leaving that room, Kirk puts the data tape in the player for Bones and Spock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then we get back to real time. Spock hears the buzzing, the same buzzing Kirk heard on Scalos.
Yes.
And then he heads up to the bridge.
And, what is it?
What a good shot.
Yeah, I really do like this tilted angle. And Kirk is in his room showing, what was her name? My apologies.
Kirk is just showing Deela, his room. She
Deela,
wanted to
yeah.
see where he lives. And
It's kind of weird. They have a really weird relationship.
She said, can I get a little straight cleaned up? And then she like brushes her hair. She sees his brush and stuff and she goes, well, you do like some of the finer things. I see you take care of yourself. You're quite good at kissing me. Oh, let's kiss some more. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And then he tries to steal the gun and she goes, come on. And he goes, I had to try.
Yeah.
And she
Can't
goes,
blame me for trying.
She goes, I would have been disappointed if you didn't try.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
And then she says, all I have to do is scratch you and you'll die of old age immediately.
Oh, yeah, because of the cells that are accelerating.
Yep. And then when they get scratched, it causes a break in
Yeah.
the cells and it fucks it up.
Right, like Compton.
Yep. And Spock is analyzing the motherfucking distress call.
Yes, the distress call.
The distress call that everything hinges upon. And he's like fucking around with it. Like he's like slowing it down and speeding it up. And when he speeds it up, when he speeds up the distress call, it sounds like the buzzing they've been hearing.
Yeah, because it starts skipping faster and faster, and then it rolls into the buzz.
Right? And then Bones finds the tape that Kirk put in the thing, but it's just a buzz.
Yeah.
And he calls Spock and he goes, I'm trying to listen to this tape, but it's just a goddamn whine. And Spock goes, get it up to the bridge right now. And then he puts the... Now, here's what's funny about these data tapes. Apparently, it's a video. There was a camera on Kirk. That was her perspective looking at him. So they're watching this data tape. Kirk explains that they're going to turn the ship into a gigantic deep freeze. And then by the time you hear this, it's going to be too late. And then Spock's got to figure out how to deal with these people who are super fast. Kirk did. So what they're going to do is the fast people, the acceleration people, they are going to go back down to Scalos. They're going to beam back down to Scalos, and then they're going to freeze the ship, right?
Yeah.
But Kirk fucked with the transporter. He ran in there quick and made it so that they couldn't beam out. And so so he's keeping them on the ship to buy some time.
And
Rael
it was
and
pretty
Kirk,
quick, too. I mean, she even mentioned that, it wasn't enough time to mess with the transporter, I think.
yeah, right? And she just gives them the benefit of the doubt, like, you probably didn't.
It's really strange. The whole
Rael says, Kirk, you fucked with the transporter. And Kirk says, no, I didn't. And she goes, he probably didn't.
Yeah,
They're
so
such
weird.
idiots.
And so then they're making out, but then what's his name catches them.
Yeah, and they fight. That's what I was just saying. So they fight. Rael and Kirk fight because he thinks that Kirk sabotaged the transporters. And she stands up for Kirk saying, I don't think he had time to do that. You're super fast. What do you mean?
Yeah, he knows his ship. And
he's basically just... and then, boom, Kirk goes all dumb-eyed and said, I'm so happy now, but... She says, I liked you when you were stubborn and irritating and independent like Rael. And then Kirk says, but those are all undesirable qualities. I'm so cool. It's
all neutral.
And she keeps saying, maybe I liked you because you were with Rael. It's like, motherfucker, just be with Rael.
Yeah, this is so confusing.
And then she tells Rael, the captain has made the adjustment. It's finished. And while they're doing that, Spock is making a drink so that he can accelerate himself.
Yeah. And,
this
what is it?
rips. This is very cool.
And what is it?
Nurse Chapel and Bones.
Yeah, Bones is like, we haven't even had really time to test it yet. And Spock's like, we don't really have time.
No,
I
Spock
guess
says, let's
do
test it.
Yeah, let's test it right now. And then it is a really cool sequence. It reminds me kind of like a Twilight Zone. Or like, kind of, I guess some mental like speed run thing, the Flash, Speed Force.
Yeah.
Just being so fast, you're untraceable.
Yeah, so everything slows down, right?
And the camera angle tilts.
Yep, and then Spock disappears, and Bones and Chapel are like, must have worked. And so they fix the transporter, and 3 of the 5 people beam down, right?
Yeah.
And the transporter is repaired. They're coming down there, and then
Raydell's outfit.
Rael's
outfit's pretty good.
Is pretty great.
Yeah.
And he's saying the unit is activated. She's got to beam down before the ship freezes. And there you go. And then Kirk breaks away. He steals her weapon.
Finally, after all this
because
time.
He was pretending to be cowed. He was pretending to be pacified. And this is fucking awesome. Kirk arms himself and he leaves, and he just runs into Spock, and they just look at each other like, Spock looks at him like, yeah, we're doing this shit, bro. Like, literally, Spock
freaky.
pulls his phaser, Kirk comes around the corner, and he's like, Kirk just looks at Spock and smiles, and Spock's like, yep, let's go.
Yeah, it's cool how, like, they can both, it's that realization of, like, they connected all the dots and that his plan worked. And that they're both in the Speed Force now, and they both know that they have to go to life support to figure that shit out.
And they just shoot Rael and knock him out. And then this is the exact same situation they were in the last episode. Yeah. Because she's like, "What are you going to do with us?" And Kirk's like, "What do you want us to do with you?"
Oh, that's right. And she's like, "This isn't a game."
And she says, "Don't make it a game, Captain. We've lost." If I sent you back to Scalos, you'd undoubtedly play the same trick on the next spaceship that passed by.
Exactly.
And
dicks.
And she said, there won't be any others. You'll warn them. The Federation will quarantine the entire area. That's what happened in the last episode.
Exactly.
Same exact shit. And so he says, well, wait, how do they resolve this? I'm sorry, listeners.
So no, pretty much that's how he says. And he goes, yeah, we're going to quarantine you. And she goes, we're probably just going to die.
Solving our problem and yours. And because she doesn't know that, like, they think they're going to be accelerated forever. She said, if you will devote yourself exclusively to the concerns, she's basically saying, come and live on Scalos with us. Because you're sped up.
Lives.
You're going to be sped up forever, and it is going to be brief, but it'll be great. It'll be just as brief as up there, but I'm down there with my boobs. You like them, right? You like my eyes too. Come on, come live on Scalos.
No, and keep in mind, Spock's right there, just as sped up as he is. And
she says, do I displease you so much? And it's like, dude, you tried to freeze my fucking ship.
Yeah, again, this is a very weird episode because it's like a lot of back and forth with him.
Kirk says, I can think of nothing I'd rather do than stay with you, except staying alive.
Ooh, roasted. Yeah, it doesn't. It's all right.
So they beam her off the ship back to Scalos to die of sped upness.
Yep. He's like, all right, peace. Thanks for messing with us, but whatever. Get out of here.
And so they beam down, and he goes, well, Mr. Spock, what do you got?
Yeah, he's like, well, hey, what's up?
And he says, Dr. McCoy and I have synthesized a possible counteragent to this Colossian water. Oh, this is where they do the testing thing. He says, we didn't have the opportunity to test it. And Kirk says,
goes,
let's test it.
No, but Spock does that too, though, with the vial.
Yeah,
that's how he gets into the Speed
Force.
Force.
And then
fearlessness.
And then Kirk drinks the stuff.
Cool sequence, too.
And then the camera is going to become straight.
Nothing's happening.
It does take a second for it to kick in. And then...
Yeah, Spock's like, you're moving very slowly, Captain.
Mr. Spock. And there you go. And then Kirk appears out of nowhere. And then Scotty goes, is Spock coming too? And he goes, yep, he'll be here in a second.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's like, he's going to stay there for a sec because he's going to do a couple repairs here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Spock stays accelerated and
Exactly.
repairs the ship at a rapid speed.
And everyone's like, yo, my panel's lighting
Oh,
up.
everything's fixing so fast. Holy shit. Lieutenant, are your circuits clearing? And she's like, yes, sir. Cancel
the
red
red
alert.
alerts.
And then I think Spock just appears
Open
here
all
at the
channels,
end, right?
and we're good to go. Yeah, Spock definitely pops up right next to the captain's chair.
Repairs have been affected by Mr. Spock. The ship will resume normal operations immediately.
Yeah, there's like a little victory lap.
And then Spock appears. Mr. Spock, my compliments to your repair work and to yourself.
Spock does a pun.
Spock says, I found it an accelerating experience.
Yes.
Oh, wait, what does that even mean? Like it
It was just so fast.
That shit was fast, bro. And then now they can't communicate with the basically Uhura accidentally turns off the fucking
What is it?
accidentally turns on the view screen and
Yeah.
it's a picture of her, and he says it's not a mistake. She says that's no malfunction. So basically she reached out to have one last look at Kirk.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? And it's just looking at him stone-faced.
Yeah, like they're being punished.
You're gonna die from being too fast. And Kirk says, goodbye, Deela. And then we see an awesome remastered shot of the ship flying away from an Earth-like planet.
It's kind of given that ending when they saw that chick get hit by the car.
Yes!
And they get out of the
Oh,
portal.
yes!
And the horror's like, what happened? He's like, nothing, let's go.
When they're at the halfway house?
Yeah.
God, we should
We gotta
rewatch
get
that
outta here.
episode
Yeah,
just
that
for
one's
fun.
hilarious.
That's such a fucking good episode,
So
dude.
yeah, then it just suddenly ends.
Yeah, so that's
wink of an eye.
Wink of an eye, not the wink of an eye. Like I had
The
in my
wink of an
notes.
eye, or
It's
blink
just-
of an
it's-
eye?
It's just wink of an eye is the name of the episode.
Blink of an eye sounds way faster and better. But
I'm
anyways.
telling you, winking is slower than blinking, and I defy any of our listener to prove me wrong. So that was us talking about wink of an eye. Al, what'd you think?
I think that this episode had like really cool elements and stuff, but the whole like life support and we're just gonna take over your ship and freeze it, and we only need a couple of you to keep this going. I don't know. It was a cool like element with the Speed Force stuff and the cells accelerating. It kind of just like went on a little long in the middle. Like Spock could have found it out a little sooner. Could have spent more time in the Speed Force.
There is a few extra.
And then the relationship with Kirk and Deela. Yeah, just I don't know. That was really bizarre too. But Deela
Because he
was
seemed
cool.
like he really liked her at the end, but she was evil.
Exactly.
She was gonna freeze his whole crew and kill them all slowly.
It was funny though how they resolved it so quick, and yeah, that highlight too that I really liked of Spock and Kirk looking at each other and doing the nod, like, "All right, yep,
So
we know what's
good.
going on. We're both going to life support."
Good. All right, so you're in the Speed Force finally.
Yeah,
Kirk should have
right?
been like, "Fucking finally, dude, let's go."
Yeah, it's reminding me too of another episode. Where was it? Remember where there was alternate universes or parallel dimensions, and like one Kirk was there and the bad Kirk was there.
Yes.
And then he like sends signals somehow. Or no, Spock realizes that it's not the good Kirk because he's making shitty decisions.
Yes. Oh,
And it's kind of like that connection of like
there's a couple of those.
they
There's
know.
also when the alternate universe crew they switch places and Spock
Yeah, that's
Spock
right.
immediately realizes they're like that's
he's like,
one
we've
of
done this before.
That's one of the funniest gags in the history of the show, man. Like
Yeah.
when they show Kirk and them doing espionage in the alternate universe, and they go, I wonder how Spock's doing with our evil halves. And then it shows Spock just like pushing them all into a fucking containment
closing
cell.
the gate on them, like
Yeah.
waving his hands like, sweet, got it done.
Wink of an eye. What's
But yeah,
your rating?
I don't know. I think, let's see, out of all those little
One to five
those little flower things that they
Yeah,
had,
1 to 5 neck brooch communicators.
I would probably say this was definitely better than Plato's Stepchildren.
That's what I always do too.
So
I think
I
about
was
what we gave the
thinking-
last episode and how much better is this one or worse.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely watchable. There's some fluff, but it's probably a 3. This is a 3.
I'm gonna give it
Maybe
a
a
3.5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5 just because of I really liked the even though the science or whatever of the slowing down and speeding up is
It's silly.
ridiculous. Oh, and one other thing that I
do
wanted
like
to...
it though. It's a cool concept.
Yeah,
I like what they did with it.
The idea of hyper accelerated aliens taking over. There's also a Voyager where there's aliens on the ship that nobody else can see except like the EMH or something.
Oh,
so you might get to that if you're not yet.
okay.
So it's another episode where somebody just says the title again. But one thing that I wondered is, why don't they give the Skolosians the antidote? Like, the Skolosians beam down to the planet, and then Spock's like, Kirk's like, so what do you got for me, Mr. Spock?
Oh,
And he goes,
I know.
Oh, we have an antidote. It's like, why wouldn't you give it to those people?
Spock doesn't bring it up to them either.
Yeah, and why don't they bottle that Skolosian water so that they can speed up when they need to repair the ship and then take the antidote?
It could be a danger, though, to their cells, right? Maybe it's like a cell decay kind of thing. I was thinking about that,
it's just
too,
like any
as soon
drug.
as the episode ended.
They always tell you drugs are bad, but yeah.
No, but yeah, I think that's what they're trying to say, but it was really weird. I get what you're saying with that.
And also,
And especially, she was being a jerk. He was just like, screw you. I'm not going to help you.
I would be remiss. Yeah, he says, I'm not going to help you. Get out of here. We're going to quarantine your planet. You're going to die. And then he longingly looks at her picture at the end. And I would be remiss if I didn't repeat. My wife was like, why don't they just give them sperm? Just have everybody donate sperm. And then they could reproduce that way. And then they wouldn't have the father that burns out
scams.
or whatever. Yeah, there you go.
Instead of all this like fucking walking around.
So you gave it a 3. I gave it a 3.5. That is our discussion of Wink of an Eye. We're at 55 minutes. We went longer than last because of the ceiling fan, I think. Yeah, it's very hot. And so, Al, what are you going to recommend for this back-to-back episode?
That's right.
Oh, I know what you're going to do.
The Boys, yes, season 4.
Season 4 of The Boys.
It's every Thursday, I believe.
Yes.
I'm all caught up. My girl and I, we were watching season 3 because I was recapping that with her. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll watch season 3 again. That's like such a good
season 3 is quite good.
And season 4 is wild. I don't know. I think it's like
it's too much
off the rails, but I don't know. We'll see if they
have to stick
it back
the
in the
landing.
middle. Yeah, exactly. Like this isn't gonna pull off unless the ending comes off. I'm like, there's got to be one more season, and that's it for me. I'm out. Like
that's what it is. Yeah,
it's got to be a nice solid 5 seasons and.
Yeah, they've already said season 5 is the end.
Okay, good.
They've announced it.
I'm glad they've.
The next season is the last one. They're also going to do spin-offs and shit and more seasons of Gen V. Did you watch Gen V?
Gen V.
It's good.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's just
I'll check it out.
More of the Boys.
More of the Boys. Yeah.
And so yeah, I really think that this season of The Boys is good.
Yeah.
But it's too dark, and I know the show's always been really dark, but it's just like. It's just
the Homelander aging kills me.
It's just so oppressively dark and violent that it's just like, ugh.
It's a little on the nose.
There's so little joy in it to balance it out, you know? It is
hard.
And it's just so stressful.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, I just want to ask you. I'll ask you right now. I was just looking through shows today. Has Been Hotel.
I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard I've heard good things.
All right, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's an anime. It's a cartoon that I haven't watched yet. We can maybe watch the first episode if you got time.
It's on Max, right? HBO Max.
Prime.
Oh, Prime. That's right.
I think it's Prime.
They got the mature rating because of like the subject, I guess.
It's a musical, I believe.
Oh,
I think they do a lot of songs, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. Just heard it was super poppin', so I was like, maybe Adam will know.
So
check it out.
We will.
The Boys, Has Been Hotel. Boom. There we go.
And I am there. You're once again recommending something you haven't watched yet. I love it. I am going to say, hey, for our crossover fans who also like Star Wars shit, fucking watch The Acolyte. Everybody online is saying it's not good or whatever. It's just more fucking Star Wars, and it's Jedis with lightsabers. And the guy who played Jason on The Good Place is in it, and he's really fucking good. And the last episode, they fucking nailed it, man. Like, I thought that the finale of The Acolyte that aired last night on Disney Plus was bomb. Like, I thought it was pretty. It was like the best Star Trek stuff since like second season of Mandalorian. But that episode.
You mean Star Wars?
Star Wars, yes.
Yeah.
We talk about a lot of Star stuff.
Dude, yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, so watch The Acolyte if you like Star Wars as well as Star Trek.
I've been holding off because Andor was like, dude, the gem, you know?
Well, but wasn't Ahsoka after Andor? Did you watch Ahsoka?
I didn't watch Ahsoka either.
That's pretty good.
All right.
All it's just Jedi. It's just they're just doing lightsaber stuff. It's all good. And I really get bummed out when people are like when it's like you can't
Not
compare all of
accurate.
Andor's. You can't
Yeah, it's
compare
not.
everything to Andor now. You know, it's just like you're gonna get Andor season 2. It'll be real good. It's gonna be fucking amazing. But it's like Star Wars is about lightsabers, bro, and fucking cute droids. They got it all. It's great.
Okay.
The Acolyte's pretty good. And it takes place 100 years in the past. And the villain is good-ass villain. Like, good-ass dark side villain. The
All
Stranger. But yeah, so that's it. This was Trek in the Valley,
Oh,
Season
what's the,
3. Next
next
week.
one?
So next week is...
Let's see.
is... The Empath. Ooh.
Oh my gosh, more telekinesis.
The Empath. It's gonna be. What's her
like
name from Next
future
Generation?
stuff?
Marina
Oh, really?
Sirtis. No, it's.
Scroll down.
No. In Next Generation, Majel Barrett plays her mom. She's Deanna Troi.
Deanna Troy.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna. I bet it's gonna be
Yes.
Deanna Troi. People.
That's crazy. Cool.
All right, so that's it. Come back next week for the
Thank you
Empath.
so much for listening, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, do everything in the bumper. Leave a review. I'm told that it helps people find us, but who knows? Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Trek in the Valley is executive produced by Adam Ordall Quinnell and Al Hirt. Theme song by Al Hirt. Recorded by Adam. Mixed and edited by Al. Check the show notes for our socials, and you can email the pod at trekinthevalley, all one word, @gmail.com. Like, subscribe, review, and always explore strange new fucking worlds.